What up, folks? What it do? Welcome to another episode of the Best Advice Ever podcast. Yes, with your boy, Mike Goodwin. Well, as I mentioned before in the previous podcast, it was my birthday. My birthday was on July 18th, and I am 50 years old, 50 years young, 50 years on earth, right? So I'm going to give you the best advice ever that revolves around birthday. Now, interesting enough, everybody has different philosophies on birthdays. So here what I would say to you, the best advice ever is to embrace your birthday. Now, I'm not a big birthday guy, and I'm sure I talked about this before for a variety of reasons. Didn't come from a family that made a big deal out of your birthday. You got some cake and some ice cream and some presents. But there was no balloons in the yard, no yard signs, no new cars, no tremendous gifts that you have been waiting for. So personally, I'm not a huge birthday guy. I don't know how I've been communicating to my family how important birthdays are. I think I've done a decent job of celebrating the birthdays within my family. But for me, I kind of was on some birthdays aren't really a big deal. Well, they are a big deal. And I, acknowledged that some years ago, but turning 50, that's a big deal. I think another reason for my birthday position or the way I feel about birthdays is my birthday was always in the summer. So if your birthday was while school was happening or during the school year, there's a lot more attention. There's a lot more people to say happy birthday. People go like, happy birthday. You go to school that morning, people telling you happy birthday all day. When you don't go to school, you're at home, you're basically getting happy birthday from the people within your house. In my house, outside of myself, there were four other people. So there's not a lot of happy birthdays. And I'm not, I don't remember the neighborhood being a big party and neighborhood where folks would bring gifts from next door to say happy birthday. Then you had your family, like your aunts, uncles, grandparents. What would be good, I guess, if my birthday fell on a Sunday. So when I went to church, people would be like, happy birthday, right? But by virtue of how I grew up, I just hadn't put a huge emphasis on birthday. Then I joined the military, and you could miss your birthday in the military in terms of like, hey man, they're not gonna give you your day off. Now you might be able to take some leave, but I don't remember if I went to basic training during my birthday. I might have, as I think about it, I might have spent my birthday in basic training back in 1993. That would be some research to look up. But the best advice ever today is just embrace your birthday. People want to celebrate you, let them celebrate you. Don't be difficult, which I can be very, very difficult. I had my wife. She planned a birthday lunch for me with some of my buddies. Now, I didn't know it. So one of my partners who listened to the podcast was reached out about lunch and was like, hey, you can't go to these places. Now, those are my favorite places to go to. So it's my birthday. How can I not choose the places that I want to go? So I picked some random place, which I think I enjoyed the meal. But had I known it was a birthday surprise for some people, I would have been like, hey, okay, cool. Let's go to a place that's the appropriate type of place for this type of fun. They surprising me. I'm surprising them. We went to, I'm not even going to mention the place because I don't want that cause no confusion or issues. But embrace your birthday, man. It only comes once a year. There are people, man, I just read today that Theo, Malcolm, Jamal Warner passed in an accidental drowning, right? From what I can tell, this is accurate news. This is not something that is a hoax. 54 years old. 54 years old. Now, I'm certain I don't want to be in poor taste, but in an incident like that, I'm certain he would have wanted to not have this unfortunate incident happen, and he would have wanted to celebrate his 55th birthday. So life, man, life is not promised to any of us. It's fleeting. None of us make it out alive, right? So when there are opportunities to celebrate yourself, for people to celebrate you, take full advantage of that. And that is a birthday is an easy one that people can rally behind to celebrate you. So embrace that and embrace your birthday. So as it relates to the birthday, I did want to talk about some insights that I found to be quite interesting, especially turning 50. People ask me and they say, hey man, how's it feel? It's pretty similar to 49, right? And all the other numbers. Now I'm sure as I go along, that will change. I guess here's my take on age too, because I am actively trying to slow down the aging process. So I'm doing things that would encourage my body to stay young. And I've been doing that for quite a long time. I really do work out. Like I work out, I run, I walk. I mean, I do physical activity. Now that definitely the diversity of it has changed because, maybe a few years ago, I was doing all kind of like Orange Theory. Then I was going to this other gym that was like a hit, high intensity individual training. I don't know exactly what hit, but kettlebells, uh, ropes, jumping on boxes, flipping tires, which I enjoy that. And I'm not opposed to it. What I don't like about that is I'm not doing it to compete. So that's kind of was kind of a knock on any of those group exercises for me. It's not the activity. It's the fact that somebody's yelling at you to do more. And my attitude is like, hey man, I'm gonna do what I wanted. I'm gonna do 10 reps, right? Or I'm gonna do the appropriate amount of reps that the exercise calls for. But I'm not trying to win, right? I'm not. And Orange Theory, I got myself signed up with another group called Iron Sharpens Iron, ISI. All great workouts. If I could just go to the workout and do the workout and not have somebody yelling at me for me to get more weight or to do more reps, I probably would still be associated with those workouts. I think with Orange Theory, the issue became for me was like the one that's closest to me closed. So logistically, it would require for me to go further than I'm interested in going because there's a number of places that are pretty close. Then also I think the other thing, just in general, I wasn't getting the results. Like I was putting in a lot of this work and effort, but I didn't look the way or even feel, strong and feel energized. I just felt beat up. I felt like I was just maybe doing way too much because at some point I had the Orange Theory thing going. I might have was doing, well, I think I switched Orange Theory out for ISI, but I had Orange Theory going. I might have even been doing that kettlebell gym with the box jumps and the kettlebells and the sleds and all of that. Then I might have even had like a gym membership, like at a standard box gym. But then I got connected to a trainer called Jimmy Leach, which kind of reorientated my whole situation. He talks more about progressive overload, and it's basically pushing your muscles to the point of fatigue is the only way to change your physique. So you got to lift heavy weights, and then you got to, his terminology, he's, but you got to create. I forgot the term, but it basically you got to force your muscle to grow. Like when you fail, it's adaptation. That's what we'll talk about. Muscle strength adaptation, right? So the muscle has to get bigger to carry the load. And a lot of times I maybe wasn't pushing myself very hard. I mean, doing those exercises were very strenuous. I did a lot of sweating, and you felt like you were doing a lot of activity, but sweating doesn't also equal calorie burn or a great workout, right? So in many of those, I think in those types of exercises, when I started working with Jimmy Leach, I saw more results, and he put me on a meal plan. He put me on like a nutrition plan, or food prep, where I just wasn't looking at the workout to produce the outcomes. I had to get more sleep. I had to drink water. I had to eat, be in a calorie deficit for a certain amount of time before your body could burn calories. There's a lot of times you just focus on, well, I need to lose weight. But you're not just going to lose weight just because you go into the gym. You got to be in a calorie deficit. You got to eat less. You got to eat less calories so that your body can burn calories. And if you're eating more than your body burns, you're not going to lose weight. So I think in terms of that, and just in general, man, I just don't want. I don't mind competing at these things, but like Orange Theory, it would be like, I forgot the name of it, but it was like a try something, a try, and they would record your times, and it would be this whole thing, and I'm like, they would break it down in the age groups and times, and hey man, I don't care about those bragging rights. I think the only reason at this point that I do what I do is so that when I'm 70, I'm able to put on my shoes, or I'm able to do a push up, or I'm able to like bend down and pick something up. You're like, I'm kind of preparing my body and putting as much muscle on. So when I start losing muscle and bone density or whatever, that there's something that will still be there to maintain it. So my goals are very different. I think there was a time where I was super trying to be the most competitive workout athlete, but it's just like, I mean, I even did something called F3 for a time, and it's a great. All these activities are great. I'm not poo pooing any of them, or knocking any of them. I'm just saying that I don't want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to roll around in a field like I didn't go to basic training, because I went to basic training. So I do feel like the F3 community was doing a bunch of outside activities that, hey man, I'd rather go to the gym. I'd rather do a leg day, right? And they did leg days, but it was outside. Because the basics of when I was a part of F3, things changed. But basically, identifying middle-aged men that had gotten out of their physical fitness routine, like men that just kind of have not, just they don't go to gym because of work, because of their family. So to eliminate that, they have free workouts that are very early in the morning before work. So if you get up and you're working out at 5:30, you can work out from 5:30 to 6:30. and still get to work on time, and you're not paying a gym membership, and you're in a community of other men, and they have these traditions where they give you a nickname, and they have these different rigorous workouts where not every workout's the same. So I totally appreciate it, and it's a great workout option. I just want to get out of the bed to go roll around in the grass, man. I just really felt like it was big, kind of cold cosplay. Yeah, cosplay for basic training. I went to basic training. I don't want to go back to basic training. I mean, I went to basic training. Then I went to officer basic course. So I done been to 2 basic trainings. I'm good on basic training. So that's one thing I realized as a 50. I want to move. I run, but I don't want to be in a running group, running club. I just want to run on my own. I set my watch for 30 minutes and away I go. And if I want to walk a portion of the run, then I'm going to walk. But yeah, man, I'm basically, again, I'm trying to get these suits to fit a particular way. That's first and foremost. But I am working to the future for my longevity. And so that's, really one big thing in terms of being 50, right? Being the age of 50. I've never thought about what that would look like, how I would feel. When I tell people I'm 50, they're pretty surprised. I don't know if I look like a 50-year-old person. I mean, because again, like I said, I actively I'm doing things to not age quickly. I don't consume large amounts of alcoholic beverages. I don't partake, in getting blackout drunk, and years of punishing my liver and my organs with alcohol, or even smoking and vaping, whatever. Like this, the things that just damages your body and your appearance. Like what would destroy your add wrinkles. I really, 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 I can't overemphasize this enough. I'm mindful of stress. Like I do my best. You can't live a stress-free life, right? Life is full of stress. I do remove unnecessary stress out of my life. Like people that I talk to, there's some people that I talk to that are very stressful. And they're from a variety of places. They can be friends, they could be family members, they could be other comedians. Like this, like if I've come to the assessment that you and I, when we interact, I walk away feeling wore out or depleted, I'm going to significantly decrease the amount of times that we interact. Like that's just what it is. I'm trying to preserve peace. And I'm trying to live a long life, man. And so the people that really stress me out, or scenarios that stress me out, I really do a great job of not being put in those scenarios. Now, again, that might cause some frustration with people that are in my life, but man, there are people that I mean, and it's a changing. Like there's some people that were great, wonderful contributors to my life, and then after a certain time, they became, whoa, I got to put this person in a different category because they've changed, and maybe I've changed. I'm not gonna dispute that, but I just don't. I don't desire to be in conversations and interactions that consistently deplete. Like, relationships should be reciprocity. One of reciprocity. I should encourage you. You should encourage me. I should put you on some new stuff. You should put me on some new stuff. Like, I really feel like anybody whose life I'm a part of, I want to feel like I'm a contribution. I'm an asset. I'm not a liability. I'm not a person that you look at the phone and you got to take a deep sigh before you answer my call, right? I got people like that in my life, man. That you see that phone, you're like, what are we doing out here? So that's one of the biggest things I think. Being 50 or leading up to being 50, I've always kind of had this preserve my peace, preserve my sanctity, my sanity, my just my overall wellness. I'm very, I'm very focused. I'm very mindful of if somebody's weighing me down. If interactions with particular people exhaust me, I'm like, I can't keep talking. These people make me tired. Now I do think about to whom much is given, much is required, but I don't feel obligated, right? And there may be some personal conversations that I can have with people, but once I start seeing a mindset of like, they're even like people like they think because I've amassed whatever I've amassed that it's for me to give to them. No, what I've amassed is for me to give, but it's to give in a manner that I need to be directed, or in a manner in which I feel led to give. There's a lot of people that think because you ought to give. I've really been thinking a lot about, I can't imagine like an NFL or NBA player that automatically gets out of college and now they have 7 million, or even when somebody signs a contract and that is public information, like you signed a contract for 13 million over 2 years. Folks be in my DM and I signed for no millions, right? Folks be hitting me up and I have signed for no millions. So I just, I look at, I just had somebody, a classmate of mine, reach out for some money. I've never given this person money before. And it wouldn't be an issue that, like, I have that money that but what does this a one-time thing? Hey man, you need this, you're in a crunch. Like, is this an ongoing? Are we going to be on subscription-based model? If I give you some money, you gonna keep asking for, like, and how did I get to be in the chain? Like, man, you had to go through family, friends, co-workers to get to me. I don't even have your phone number, man. That's kind of wild, right? And I hope this doesn't feel like a venting session. But I do want to vent a little bit. I'm not gonna vent. I'm gonna vent in the next one. I'm gonna vent in the next one a little bit. I'm gonna call it next venting, because it does become pretty interesting. But 50, one thing I do find to be very interesting about being 50 is everybody's welcoming me to the club. Welcome to the 50 club. Like, I don't think anybody adamantly welcomed me to the 40 club. 40 club was like, hey man, come on in. The 50 club, if people feel compelled to welcome me to the 50 club, and I don't know if I want to be welcomed, right? Because I don't like this club. It's a different kind of club, man. Most clubs, they playing music. They're not playing music in the 50 club. No. They are playing rain, like nature sounds, so you can go to sleep. That's what they playing in the 50 club. They welcome you to the 50 club. They give you a pillow. I'm like, what club I've never been to a club and they've given me a pillow. I was like, hey, I'm a little thirsty. Can I get something to drink? They brought me some Metamucil at the 50-year-old club. Somebody gave me a knee brace. Like, hey, welcome to the club. Here's your knee brace. I was like, I don't need a knee brace. They were like, you going to put it in your closet. Welcome to the 50 club. I don't like this 50 club. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's a lot of chairs. There's a lot of chairs in the 50 club. There's nowhere to dance. Dance floor very small. In the 50 club, it's just a lot of places to sit down. It's a lot of people showing you pictures of their grandchildren in the 50 club. I don't want to see your grandchild. I don't. What you doing with grandbabies anyway over here? Like, I'm not even close to the grandbabies. Hopefully, I'm like 7 years away from grandbabies, man. I walk into the 50 club, people got their phone. Hey, let me show you a little man. I don't want to see little man. I just want to dance a little bit of dance. I'm not, boots on the ground. We got no boots on the ground. They got head on the bed. That's what they got. In the 50 club, no boots on the ground. Head on the bed. I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna use that on stage. Head on the bed. That's what y'all are dancing to. I'm like, why does it smell like icy hot in the 50 club? I don't. What is happening? And everybody welcome you. It's such a friendly group. Welcome you, giving you an AARP application to fill out. Like, hey man, I don't know if but I like a good discount. So I ain't mad at the discounts. I am not mad at the discounts. Matter of fact, I asked on Facebook, well, social media in general, for some advice. So if you want to give me some advice, feel free to email me at bowtiecomedy@gmail.com. Bowtiecomedy@gmail.com. That email works because Scott from a previous episode, he emailed me and wished me a happy birthday. So it was very invigorating to get an email from someone that listened to the podcast. Hopefully y'all enjoy this 50th birthday edition of the Best Advice Ever podcast. And embrace your birthday. You only get one a year, right? Now I am of the opinion it does feel like just another day. So I get you. If you, matter of fact, there's a woman at my gym. She's turning 80 on Wednesday. It looks great. She looks like she could easily be 55. Easily. The woman's turning 80. And she didn't want any banners. She don't want balloons. She just want a little bit of cake, a little bit of ice cream, a little regular. Because it's a regular day. Like nothing spectacular is happening on the day. So she doesn't want a bunch of pomp and circumstance, right? So I get that. But then there's some of you that have a birth month. You celebrate your birthday all month. Everybody got different groupings. There's some people that celebrate the day that day. Some people celebrate for a week. Some people celebrate for an entire birth month. I saw some on TikTok where a lady was like, she was talking about people that say birthday month. Like it's not unnecessary to say birthday month. It's being redundant. Just say birth month. Get rid of the day. Birth month. It's not a birthday month. So make sure if you're one of those birth month people, enjoy yourself, man. Knock yourself out. Enjoy the time that you have here on this earth, man. Well, thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Best Advice Ever podcast. I'm your boy, Mike Goodwin. Yes, sir. Bowtie Comedy. I thank you for tuning in again. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to get to me, you had a question for me, something you want me to address, comments you want to share with me, bowtiecomedy@gmail.com. So I'll see you next week. Same bat channel, same bat place. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I appreciate it. Peace.